I know you've seen the headlines. Maybe your eyes have glazed over like they have for me. GameStop stock, the explosion, the drop back to earth. I don't quite get it all. Here's Nick with some background and detail.
So what is going on with GameStop? Well, a power struggle of sorts. I guess we should start with a simpler question. What is GameStop? GameStop is a brick-and-mortar video game retailer struggling in a world where people get their video games online, or worse, simply download them. Okay, so what's going on with them? Well, their stock is increasing. Big. How big exactly? How about 8,000% in 6 months? On January 8th, the stock was trading for around $18. This morning, it was being sold for $469. How then, while GameStop continues to close stores around the country, is its stock shooting through the roof? I wonder if you're like me. Today I spent time asking friends and financial advisors to explain this to me like I'm an idiot. They obliged. Here's what happened. When companies are in rough shape, they become the subject of what's called short selling. What's short selling? Professional investors borrow shares of stock they think are going to tank, sell them, then buy them back later after they've decreased. They then return the stock to the lender and pocket the profit. GameStop was one of the most shorted stocks on the market. Others include AMC Theaters, Bed Bath & Beyond, and local company Costs. What happened next? People started buying GameStop stock, especially amateur investors using apps like Robinhood. Apps like Robinhood allow users to simply deposit money and start trading. The increased buys were also fueled by online forums like Wall Street Bets, a Reddit community. Members of the Wall Street Bets community started talking up GameStop. More people started buying. Things went really wild starting last Friday. Increased media coverage of the sudden rise in GameStop stock brought the story out of the caves of finance and into the mainstream. Then a frenzy ensued. Shares went from trading at around $40 to as much as $469 early on in today's trading session. Before the market opened this morning, the app I was talking about earlier, Robinhood, blocked people from purchasing stocks like GameStop and AMC. Is that legal? Should you care? What does all of this mean? Smarter minds than I will have to take over from here.
All right, we've got one of those smart minds. Joining us on the WTMJ hotline is Tom Neumann, Drake & Associates. Hey, Tom, good to talk to you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
All right, so Nick did a good job, I think, explaining some of those terms like a short trade and how this works. Here's my most basic question, Tom. I have a lot of money in the market, but it's mostly in annuities, IRAs, ETFs, my 401k. Who cares about this? Why does this matter to me, the average guy?
That's a great question, and how you are investing in the market is how a lot of people around the country, around the world, invest. They invest in diversified mutual funds, maybe ETFs, that really offer one size fits all, where you buy one particular product, but you own hundreds, maybe even thousands of different companies or securities, all within a bundled package within your 401k or annuity. The reason that some of this is important, what's happening out in the market right now, even though you might own just a small percentage of some of these stocks within your greater portfolio, is the fact that, you know, when these volatility days happen, it could really affect the long-term capabilities of upper management or other individuals to kind of forecast and look out into the future about how we should be looking at these companies. I mean, if you have everyday investors coming in, not really understanding the prospects of these companies' products and services, and they're just propping up the value of the stock rather than looking at the fundamentals, it could lead to a deterioration of the overall confidence in the market in long terms.
Tom, I'm curious about some of the apps that amateurs are using. We keep hearing about this app, Robinhood. Is it a good idea for someone, just a layman, just to use this app? It's kind of a big gamble on money that is hard earned. What would you suggest?
Yeah, that's another great question. You know, the advent of technology and the speed at which communication transfers hands nowadays really allows for apps like Robinhood to come to the forefront of today's lexicon and just getting and participating in the market. The reason that Robinhood and some of these other apps have been really popular is because they offer free stock trading, and that allows then for everyday individuals to pour just a handful of money into an account, then go out and purchase stock in companies that maybe they truly don't understand. And then all of a sudden it's a roller coaster, both up and down. To me, I'm not recommending that most individuals use this type of speculative platform to actually participate in the market.
Tom Neumann is with us. So, Tom, today Robinhood and other interactive brokers took steps to curb this. Robinhood said, you know what, we're putting the brakes on, we're restricting trading. Is that legal? Does the SEC have an opinion of that?
So I do know that the Biden administration and the newly appointed Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is taking a look at this, and the SEC as well. Is it possibly illegal? Yes, it's possible. I mean, for a group of individuals to potentially collude together and try to artificially pop up or pop down a particular stock can lead to market manipulation, which actually is against the law. What's going to be interesting, though, is this is kind of a new format that we necessarily haven't seen in bigger companies that trade on a regular basis. So, is there enough evidence that enough people were trying to artificially or manipulate the market? That might be something that's hard to prove.
Really quickly, Tom, how does this end? GameStop was trading less than a month ago at around $20. It's now at over $200. How does this end? Where does GameStop end up in all this?
If you have an investment in stocks, you should be taking the long-term view. And when I say long-term view, you should be looking at multiple years in advance. Stocks are highly speculative in and of itself. And so when you look at what GameStop and AMC and some of these other companies have been going through, I think the end result is that, once this speculative trading stops, the fundamentals are going to come back to normal, and regular individuals who do the everyday participation will evaluate the company on their, trajectory of sales and everything like that, and the stock will start trading in normal. So I fear that there's going to continue to be volatility, possibly even on the downside, as these stocks continue to get reevaluated.
Drake & Associates' Tom Neumann. Thank you, Tom.
My pleasure. Thank you.